Hey guys, this is Alex. I'm bringing you another Secret Scenes Roundup for this season of Survivor Millennials vs. Gen X. So, the first scene I have to talk about is with regard to the challenge. Ken was one of the blindfolded puzzle solvers for Takali, and he said that since he was blindfolded and the puzzle was taking so long, he assumed that it was going to be very colorful and complex design and hard to solve, and then he takes the blindfold off and it's a bat. So that makes him wonder, when Figgy and Michelle were doing so well on the puzzles for the Millennials, how much of that was actually Figgy. And also from the reward challenge, David says that he has a theory that every Gen X has a millennial counterpart on the other tribe, and his is Hannah, because he is amazed that somebody exhibited even more anxiety than him in having a panic attack when she wasn't even participating in the challenge. And meanwhile, after the challenge, there's a secret scene in which Brett tries to position Sunday underneath himself on the bottom of the totem pole by pointing out that, if she's prone to panic attacks, what if that happens during another challenge? Can she really be counted on in that situation? And, I like Hannah, but I can't blame him for using that tactic. Now, with regard to the immunity challenge, Hannah has a confessional where she talks about how she doesn't think that Michaela could take it quite like she dished it out at the challenge to her. And Michaela has a confessional where she disagrees with this assessment. And Hannah also says that when Jeff said these two are probably not taking a road trip together anytime soon, she disagrees with that because she gets that Hannah probably still likes her. That's just how she relates to people in the moment, because she's very competitive and very open about her emotions. And meanwhile, on Takali, the losing tribe, Taylor says that their teamwork on the table maze was bad because Figgy and Jessica were both trying to take leadership on the puzzle, and so when a little correction needed to be made, they both made the correction and it overcorrected. But he said he would still rather have that than have one person take over and tell the other person to shut up and go away, essentially. Taylor also had an interesting observation where he says that on tribal council days, you can't fish and scramble at the same time, so you don't eat as much, and you go to tribal council hangry, and after a blindside, you come back from tribal council hangrier. So that might explain in part some of the post-tribal council fireworks we see at the beginning of some episodes. And finally, one strategic observation. Jay says that the reason that they encouraged Vanua to win the challenge was because they wanted Ken to go home on Takali. And that's because, first of all, they assumed that he would go because, it's a millennial majority on that tribe. But also, not only is he a challenge threat when he gets to merge, but also nobody really knows where his head is at. And that, I think, is not quite 100% clear thinking on Jay's part, because Jay has never actually met Ken or had a one-to-one with him. They've been on separate tribes the entire time, and Ken didn't go to the Survivor Summit. So what I think is going on is that Jay is taking Brett and Sunday at their word when they describe Ken, but I think that Jay should have thought, is he really untrustworthy, or is he just not trustworthy to them because he's not part of their alliance? And that's all the important Secret Scenes news I have for you today. See you next week.